Revision, Joe Bailey here. Big respect to you guys for the 50 subs. I hope we can keep growing and I hope we can spread the revision with everyone. So let's begin. So today we're doing some more business. Today we're doing topic 1.2, which is on spotting a business opportunity. So let's begin with market research. So there's two ways to find market research. You can find it as primary data or secondary data. So let's start with primary. So primary data is data that's not been collected before. So this includes observation, postal surveys, focus groups, and test marketing. So observation is basically where you watch the customers. You see their behavior and the amount they buy and the amount of them altogether. This is a very cheap method of discovering things, and you see how often your product is picked and chosen. But however, it lacks detail. You're not knowing the reasons why people are doing this. You're not understanding the reasons behind people's behavior. So the second thing we talked about was postal surveys. So postal surveys are basically, they will send you a letter with a survey in, and it's prepaid for you to send it back. And basically, these are very cheap because all they need to pay for is the paper and the postal stamps. But unfortunately, they have a low response rate, making it not that effective overall. So focus groups are basically where groups of potential customers, they discuss what they think about the product in a group, and this is good because it's in a good detail. However, it can be time consuming because you've got to find all these individuals who will be willing to give up their time just to help advance knowing about your product. So not collected before. So another thing would be test marketing. So this is basically like beta testing. You let it out to a small group of people so they can try it and give feedback, and it's a good prediction of what the rest of the market will do. And the thing is, it lowers the risk of potentially losing, because if you just release this product, you could lose a lot of stuff by people not liking it at all. So at least this way you're finding, these people liked it, so most of my other people will. So qualitative data. So qualitative data is basically where it's used as open questions. So it's like, why did you buy this, and what are your opinions on this product? So so basically they can respond in long written responses, which gives more detail and helps people to understand the customers that you're giving your products to. However, one unfortunate thing is that this can take a lot of time to process all this information. So let's look at quantitative data as opposed to qualitative data. Big difference. Quantitative data, the results come as figures, so they're easier to process. And you ask closed questions in surveys. So it's like, which product did you buy and how many did you buy? So these results are figures, so they're easier to show us statistics to prove things. However, they don't really give any more detail. They don't actually give the reasons. That is just up to your assumption from the numbers, which is unfortunate. So next, let's look at secondary data, our second type of market research. So it's also known as desk research. And what it is it's research that comes from existing sources. So this can be internal or external. So internal sources include things like sales figures, the sales cost, so how much you spent as opposed to how many you've sold. So how much you had to spend to get your products to sale. And also advertising costs, so how much you spent on advertising. Basically, what these things do is, if you can see how much you've spent on advertising, you can see how effective it's been and how it's brought customers in. How many extra sales figures were there because of this extra advertising and that sort of thing. It can also come from existing sources that are external. This includes the internet, newspapers, and market reports, and the government. Basically, you can search it up on a computer, you can look at it in some news, you can look at some market reports, which are published in places including the internet. And also you can use the government. The government has this thing called the ONS, which is the Office for National Statistics, and they have a lot of numbers about what sort of things people are buying and just general trends in the marketplace. So let's look at our next thing. Market segmentation. So market segmentation is basically when you try and advertise towards a particular group. And the sort of groups a product could be targeted at can be based on age, ethnicity, gender, lifestyle, population, or social class. So I think most of these are pretty obvious, but population would be about like the population of a certain area, even smaller than an ethnicity, and how they react. So yeah. Also, market segmentation could be used to help establish a USP. So for example, you could target someone that no one else has yet targeted at, and that would make your product stand out, give it a unique selling point. Also, the smaller segment you target your product at, the more niche the product becomes, and that means the smaller the market. So let's go on to the next thing, customer needs. Customer needs. So these are different for different products or services, and it's basically what customers are wanting from your product or service. So these things include convenience, price, quality, and choice. And by managing to optimize these things, it will generate sales. So the thing is, people will often care less about a cheap price if they care more about quality. So some of these things, customers want the highest quality, highest convenience, highest choice, and the lowest price. But sometimes they would be happy to pay higher price for higher quality. So that's something we basically look at here in this marketing map. So this marketing map shows us high price, high quality, low price, low quality. So basically you'd map your points on here of certain products, of certain companies, and basically it sort of aligns. And you can find a place on this to use as a USP, because if you can find a place where no other product is, that sets you apart. So basically it's rare to have a product of a low quality and a high price, as that would be unlikely to sell to consumers, as we've already said. However, it is common to have a high price product with high quality, as this is common, and we can see it with all the branded products like branded clothes, branded mobile phones, on which I'm recording this right now, pretty good. Also, it's common to have a low quality product with a low price, and this is your sort of budget products, like ones you buy, like supermarkets owns products, and basically any cheap groceries, I guess. And also, even in other categories, there are stuff that fit into this. And it's also rare to have a low price, high quality product, as this will be unprofitable for the business, and every business needs a certain amount of profit to survive in this competitive environment. See what I did there? You did, didn't you? Okay, so today we're going to be doing a bit on competition as well. So competition. So competition is when two or more businesses compete over the same customers. So competition, basically, if you are doing better to meet your customers' needs, then it would put your business ahead of another business. So they may decide, oh, I'll go with you instead because your prices are cheaper, or I'll go with you instead because you're more convenient. I'll go with you instead because you offer more choice. I'll go with you instead because you have higher quality. That's the sort of reasons why. So because of this, competition often drives down prices, and we can see this with supermarket sales. They're constantly doing sales, constantly saying, oh look, we're cheaper than Sainsbury's, we're cheaper than Asda. That's what they're constantly saying, and that's because they're trying to prove themselves to be cheaper than the competition. Also, of course, it drives up quality, because a lot of products try and compete on quality, and we can see this through things like smartphones, when they say they got more utilities. Like they'll say, oh yeah, we got this that the other one doesn't, we got a super megapixel camera that they don't have, we got this weird cutout bit off the side that's made of glass, I don't know why. So yeah, they add extra things to make them seem better, and yeah, they appear to be to the customers. So another thing about competition, if a segment is more niche or a product is more niche, there's normally less competition, as the thing is, if you're targeting to a very small group of people, not a lot of businesses will try and do that in the same way, because once someone's got control of that niche, it's hard to make them move or even compete with them unless you find your own niche. basically, the bigger a market, the more competition. So the more prices drive down and the more quality is driven up. So basically, having a niche establishes a USP, making other companies not able to compete with you. So there we go, that was topic 1.2, spotting a business opportunity. And yeah, we should have more business videos up soon. We should have more other videos. Please comment what other videos you'd like to see if you can. So thank you and goodbye.